Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Geek vs. Thought Bubbles. The reason I was looking up at the sky because I almost forgot it. Almost forgot the title. This is like the fourth one. Give me a break. Today, as you can see, tonight, whenever you listen to this, get right to the nitty-gritty. Title, Nocturnal Animals Review. Now, this is something that I have been waiting for. I don't know. When did I see it? I don't know. Who knows? Let's say 6 to 5 months. 6 to 5 months ago, see the trailer. Looked great. Tom Ford is up-and-coming director, I guess. Serious Man was good. I didn't love it like everyone else, but it was good. Has phenomenal cast. I was so pumped. I heard about the plot. I saw the trailer. I saw the cast. I saw the crew. And I saw everything. And I was getting excited. Where I live, you didn't get it released, limited. We never get the stuff limited here, so I have to wait and wait. Finally got it. Got to see it tonight. And man, was I disappointed. Now, that's not to say this is a bad film. That's not to say this is not maybe even a great film. I think the way I'll equate it, and I guess I'll tell a story quickly, because we were not podcasting at the time. I felt very similar, if not a little better for this film, but I feel very similar to the way I did when I walked out of Interstellar. Love Christopher Nolan, one of my favorite directors of all time, for many things. And when Interstellar was coming out, I was very excited. Great track record. Many of his films were in my top 10, top 20, whatever, so I was very excited. And then when I got out of it, I was like, that was good, Acting was great. Story was pretty good. Effects were phenomenal. Score was great. Checked all these boxes off, But then there was just something, maybe an issue here and there, but really didn't check the, love it box. It checked all the boxes it need to, but there was this pesky box in the right corner called Something is Missing, and it was checked off. And that's kind of like what this movie is. And the thing is, I'm hoping as it continues, as Interstellar is a movie for me, went into it so hyped, want to see it, walked out and was like, liked it, but it was like my least favorite Nolan movie. Every time I've seen Nocturnal, every time I've seen Interstellar, I've liked it more. So that's a good sign. I'm hoping that's going to be the case with this, because I actually like this a lot more than when I walked out of Interstellar. When I say it's disappointing, I think it's for two reasons. One, I think it was just my own self. Got a little bit of hyped and whatnot. And the trailer got me really excited. Kind of boosted my expectations, because I'll get into that. This is going to be pretty much non-spoiler. If I do any spoilers, it'll be at the very end, and I'll give you a warning. So the trailer to me showed some stuff that I kind of thought was going to be not a different movie, but just maybe go in a certain direction. And maybe it kind of ended up doing some really good stuff this movie, but maybe some stuff was a little cookie cutter. Some stuff I've maybe seen before or done in different ways, or enough things that I didn't feel as big stakes going in. So there was that. And two, I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was just something that I wouldn't say there's missed opportunities in the movie, and that's the thing. I think it's disappointing me for the fact of I still actually really like this movie, and I'll get into my overall, really want to see it again. I might see it again while it's playing in the theaters. I think for me, going in this movie, I really thought this was going to be in my top 10, and that's probably a bad thing to think, but I do that all the time, whether it's Rogue One coming out this week, or what's another... I guess, yeah, I'd say The Nice Guys. The Nice Guys 2, I was like, probably top 10 movie. That was my favorite movie of 2016 for a while. So I don't think it's a thing where, you thought it was going to be that good, so that's why it's disappointing. That's happened to me many times. Let's say a comic book movie about Civil War. Thought it was going to be good, blew my expectations away, loved it. One of my favorite films of the year. So that's what I mean. Expectations sometimes can damper you, but a film can overcome that. And I guess it's the same way I talked about a few weeks ago or a month ago with Tyler with Arrival. You heard all this hype, went and saw it, matched it, even went out above it. So with this, it was just only my own hype. I'd say this is probably in my top 25 for the year. Probably somewhere in that lower, maybe 25 to 15 range, but I did really enjoy it. I'll get into the nitty gritty right now. The positives. Directing is great. Tom Ford he's a man of style, obviously, but he is so good at making it. With Serious Man look great, and this is beautiful. This is shot beautifully. It looks beautiful. It looks like it has, the way I describe this film to somebody that hasn't seen it, it's like Mulholland Drive meets No Country for Old Men meets Girl with the Dragon Tattoo meets American Psycho, and the same way that I really love American Psycho about it, like it has this beauty quality technique, this very like painted fake, like it looks like when you look into the Sears catalog and you see like the Happy Family, that's kind of what this looks like. The entire world looks like, and it really does contribute to the rest of the film. So that's great. The writing, the story's great. You kind of have this thing. You have like a story within a story within a story, and that's why I said there's all these different movies compiled, because there's like 3 different versions, and these are. It's a plot point. There's not too much spoilers, but like I'll try and like limit it by just giving you the plot. I will not give anything away. But there's 3 separate stories. There's Amy Adams, killing it this year, phenomenal. Between Arrival and this, BVS, she wasn't used best, but these 2, she is putting her stake in the ground as one of the best, if not the best actress around in Hollywood right now. She's top 5, easily, maybe top 3. I'd have to like do a list. We'll get to The Gentleman in a second, who, this cast, phenomenal. I guess I'll get into that before we get into the plot quickly. The cast is phenomenal. You got, like I said, Amy Adams. Ayler Taylor-Johnson does a phenomenal performance. He got nominated for a Golden Globe when I was recording this. And it's great because with him, he can really pull stuff out of himself and just get to that different level. And that's why he's always fun, not always, but I was kind of down on him lately. I've seen a couple of his things, Kick-Ass. There's one more that he was really good, and I was like, man, this guy's going to do something great. He came in Avengers. I was like, oh, this is exciting. And he didn't thrill me. Good, but didn't thrill me. Same in Godzilla. Didn't thrill me, but he was like good enough. But I just felt like for the past few performances I saw from him, it was just like, okay, like he's just kind of doing good enough. Not bad, not great, just in the middle. And that's never bad. This, he blows away. And then you have 2 guys right now who I think are, even though Jake Gyllenhaal is a huge star, very, very underrated. He's so underrated. He's been fucking snubbed so many times for Academy Award. Like, I'd really have to look. I can't remember. I think it was the year, was Nightcrawler. I can't remember if that was the year of 2014. I think it was the year. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was the year that Birdman. It was Michael Keaton and everyone. It was The Race. And I still don't think Redmayne should have won. I still think Keaton, but I think Gyllenhaal should have been nominated. I don't know if he was better than Keaton because I didn't really have to think about it because he wasn't nominated, but he should have been nominated and potentially should have won. Great performance. He's so underrated, and I think he has that thing that Brad Pitt had going for a while where he was like in McConaughey, that he's so good looking, people kind of look past that. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Gyllenhaal until Nightcrawler. I always thought he was good, but when I saw Nightcrawler, something clicked with me, and I always liked him in Brokeback Mountain, and oh, there's another one. It's not the For Love and Other Drugs, because like that was an alright performance. Oh, Prisoners. That was the other one too, where I started to be like, oh man, like he's pretty good. Maybe one time I'll do a podcast. I'd like to wait till my former dynamic duo co-host Liam be back of like talking about the past decade, who are the top 5 actors, and he's in there, and his co-star Michael Shannon could easily be in there. Michael Shannon is an MVP of so many films. He steals scenes without stealing them. Like, he makes other people look good while he's doing what he needs to do. Like, some people come in there and they tailor the scenery and they can be great, but it's kind of at the sacrifice of the actors. He compliments people so well. I fell in love with him in Boardwalk Empire. Ever since then, he's blown me away. He's one of my favorite actors. He's so underrated. He's phenomenal. In this movie, he delivers a great performance, a great character. I liked his character the most because he actually reminded me of my grandfather. He looked like him, the mustache, and he talked like him, so that was cool. But great character. The writing is so good in this movie. That's what I mean. I really like this movie. We'll get into the plot now. Armie Hammer's in this movie. He's fine. And say Michael Sheen. I think it was just like a friendly thing. Michael Sheen makes his appearance. I'm like, oh, Michael Sheen, because I had only watched the first trailer and then I stayed away. I try to, unless it's comic book or geeky movies, I don't watch any trailers. Like tonight, legitimately, I saw Live by Night trailer for the first time because I love Ben Affleck. I like his movies. Don't need to see a trailer. I saw it because, I'm sitting in a movie theater eating popcorn, listening to people jabbering behind me, which. PSA for this podcast. Fine talk. Even in the first few minutes, if you need to talk, get something in your system, go ahead. But I literally had to turn around and tell these people to shut up. It was like half an hour into the movie. They're still talking. And I try to give them as much benefit of the doubt, but please, spread that around. Like, we're in this day and age, like, just don't talk. It's so frustrating. You're like, oh. But anyways, plot, story within a story within a story. There's three things going on. You got Amy Adams, main character. She gets this is just the plot, so like I said, don't get mad. She gets a book. She's a very successful artist. She runs an art gallery. She also does art. You get a very explicit opening credit scene. Never see this with your kids, not you're gonna, but if you thought, hey, this could be a good family movie, definitely not. So she's an artist. This is where the American Psycho thing comes in. You can kind of tell like she's living a life that she's maybe always wanted or always strived to be, but kind of seems a little unhappy. She gets a book from her ex-husband called Nocturnal Animals, hence the title, and it's dedicated for Susan. So there's this story of her reading it and dealing with, she has a struggling marriage. Her life doesn't seem to be panned out the way she wanted it, but she's not getting everything. Like in the trailer, there's a line of like, is this how you always thought your life was going to be? She says to somebody, and that's how it kind of is. That I think she got what she wanted, but then really it's kind of, as the Stone said, it's not what she needed. So there's that story of her reading the book, dealing with her life. The second story is the actual book. So the book is, I'm not going to talk about the book, what it is, but it is a metaphor for something that she and Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who they that's not a spoiler. They were married and they're separated now. It's a metaphoric story about what they went through, and it's very well done, very well acted by everybody. And then the third story, there is a third story, and it's pretty much just flashbacks or other story devices to show Amy Adams and Gyllenhaal, like kind of how they met. Sorry, a little spoilery, but I have to say that because you don't know what it's gonna be. So 3 stories going on. It meshes really well for the most part. The book stuff is really good. Like it does. You got to really pay attention. This is a movie, I think, if this is a movie you just want to put on and watch and have a good time, or kind of just like sit back and have some popcorn and not really pay attention and looking for a good time, it's not that. It's not a thriller. It is a thriller, but it is a thinking man sort of thriller, a thinking woman sort of thriller. It's not the type where it's, I don't know, like Obsession with Beyonce, Love Beyonce, but it's like, you can just sit back and enjoy it. Oh, this girl's messing up their life. This is like something you really have to think about. And the book thing is very well done. Now, that could be its own movie. That's where Gyllenhaal kills it, and they do a great job of, you see the real life story between all the characters, and you see the book story, and you see how it matches up, or you get little hints to what might happen later, or you see, oh, that ties there, and that ties there, and that ties there. Really well done. And especially at the end, when you sit back and you think about it, this is a movie, too, that I actually started more... I was going to do this review right away, and then I took 3 hours. I'm going to think about it a bit more. And I liked it more, piecing it together, everything like that. Very well done, but like I said, I think the problems are... There's 3 things. One, like I said, I think for me, it's just a personal thing. There's some stuff that was a little cookie cutter, and it was all right. I've seen it before done different ways, but it was still just kind of... I knew where they were going, and it was done well enough, but didn't blow me away like I wanted. I might talk about that a little bit, the spoilers at the end, so stay tuned, because I think I might have to do a little blurb of it. The second one is, this movie leaves a lot up for interpretation, and it's very ambiguous. Now, I think there's a perfect line. I think I saw, because I can't remember, somebody say, like a couple weeks ago, there was like a negative review, and somebody said the negative reviewer was a younger person, and someone underneath the comment was like, oh, you just don't get it because you're young, and you need to be, fulfilled in the young generation, you need all the answers, blah, blah. I don't agree with that at all. There's many ambiguous films, like a Mulholland Drive, even, it's to a minor effect, but, Inception, very ambiguous. Love those movies, but I think there's a fine line of being ambiguous and too ambiguous, and maybe for me, it was a little too ambiguous. There's a lot of questions I have that are... okay, that's great. It kind of adds to your enjoyment of the film that you think, oh, did this happen? Or did this happen? Did this happen? But then there's maybe a few minor things with certain characters that I wish were answered or dived a bit more into, because I think the good ambiguous movie leaves you walking away being like, I want more, I'm thinking about it. Where this left me being not wanting more, but just feeling like I didn't get enough. It didn't get full, like, I'm trying to think of like a food analogy, you know, I don't, it's, you're not full, you're like, it's kind of, here you go. Your mother makes you great macaroni. You eat it all up and you want to have more. Let's say you eat the whole plate, you want to have more. Where you get this macaroni and eat, let's say, half of it. You want to have more, but you still feel a little unfilled. Like you only got half, right? So you want more, but you still feel you feel unfulfilled. You're like, oh, like I could use more and it wasn't as good. Like I'm not full, I'm still hungry. And that's how I left leaving this movie. Was I wasn't full and like, oh, that was good. I'd like more, but it's okay if I don't get any. This was like, oh, I liked what I had, but I still want a little more. Not too much because I don't want to throw up, but just a little more. And there's certain things that, and I've never read the book. I actually didn't know it was a book until after I saw the movie and was looking at what other people said. Because I only read a few reviews of people I trusted, and you see them on Twitter and Facebook. But then I read, some stuff, read some theorizing, stuff like that. Because this is a movie that has lots of theorizing, and that's good. But I think for me, a little too ambiguous. And the third thing is the ending. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. There's parts of me that actually kind of love it, and then there's parts of me that, once again, brings back that unfulfilledness, where I'm like, yeah, but it just kind of was like a far in the wind, and I hate to say that because I don't think it's like that. I really don't. I think the intention and the well-written behind that's why I want to watch it again. It is a much more meaningful ending, but that was literally my first thought when it ended. I was like, huh, okay. It was not more once I thought about it. I liked it more, but even as much as I've liked it, I still have a little problem with it. I was just like, okay, like, I think this whole thing with my problems on the movies or some of the problems with the movie I have is, I get what they're going for, maybe not done the best, and maybe not to my liking. I understand it. It's like, it was one of these things too. I feel like this is a movie that is like, it's kind of like Inception, or it's kind of like Interstellar or Arrival, where you're going to have like a lot of ignorant people being like, oh, because you didn't like it, like you didn't get it, like it has a deeper meaning, like you need to, if you haven't been in a relationship, you wouldn't get it, like, it's one of those movies I do worry that people that love it are just going to tear you down for not liking, because it's supposed to be this very smart, in-depth character study, and it's about life and relationships, and it is, and I get that, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this will be a movie of, oh, you didn't like it, well, you just don't get it. It's like, no, I get what they're going for, it's just meh. I'll do a final rating right now, and then I'm gonna go into a few spoilers very briefly. But yeah, overall good time. If you like thrillers, if you like to be thinking, watch this movie. I think this movie is for a select group of people, not like fucking like 20% of the population, but I just mean like, you have to know your taste going in. You have to know that it's a movie that it's a sit down and watch movie. That's basically it. And if you like those, if you're in the mood for this is a great one. Really, like, it has Gone Girl vibes sort of in a way too, like the modern day stuff I found. So if you like kind of like that, that's good. If you're looking for kind of just a cheap thrill ride or a fun thrill ride, you could still have that in parts, but you're gonna be a little lost. So if you like those type of movies, this maybe isn't for you. Acting's great, directing's great, writing is great, the look of it's great. The score, actually, they didn't use too much, not that I recall. There's many moments in the film that were just silent, but the score was really, really good. It stuck out big time for me. I don't know if it actually got nominated for a Globe. I don't think it did, but it's a movie that when I watch it again, I really want to listen to it. I don't know if this movie can download, but there's something about it. It's really, really good. Cast is phenomenal. Jake Gyllenhaal Shannon and Adams, to be honest, needs to win like an Academy Award, needs to get more recognition. Because I feel like that's what I like about this movie, those three. And Eric Taylor Johnson did a good job, but those three I like a lot more. They're like, that's why I was so excited, because I love those people, and they're like this cast of like people that, oh yeah, they're the great actors, but we kind of push them aside because there's like a Jennifer Lawrence, or a Leo, which is fine, that's great, but it's like I feel like these people are kind of like the underdogs in a way of like the top level of acting. So pulling for them, I know they didn't get nominated too much at the Globes. I think it could be Oscars, but I can't say that. I'm just getting, if you like these movies, I'm just getting into them now, because where I live, we don't get them right away. They're more the wire release, sometimes a little bit before. Like, I think we're about to get Moonlight, so I'm excited to see that for the first time. So it's hard for me to compare. I will be ready. We're going to do some Oscar cast, whether it's myself or with Liam. I'll be more prepared then. giving it an 8.2. This could easily become an 8.5. This could actually easily become a 9. This is one I need to watch again. I need to digest it more. I need to see it. It's a good time. I think there's some stuff I said was a little cookie cutter, and a little stuff I was like, okay, I don't know if I buy it. Ending, a little things few in there, but I quite enjoyed my time. It was good. I really, really liked the movie, the stuff I did. I think I gave Hacksaw an 8. So that's why I'm giving this an 8.2, an 8 point, what did I say? 8 point, I'll go 8.3 on the higher end. Because I liked it more than Hacksaw, and this like kind of like road to the Oscars, like Geek First Thought Bubbles I'm doing here. But it's not enough for me to do an 8.5, which is like an A. You know, I think it's like a B right now. I guess if I watch again, it could be. I don't know what I grade Interstellar. I can't even think about that. But with that movie, I've seen it 4 times, and every single time I watched it, I liked it more. I feel like this could be it, because I really want to see it again. So jumping quickly into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you're going to go see this movie, turn off now. If you've seen it already. So specific problems I had, the cookie cutter stuff. So I get what they're doing with the book. He writes the fucking book, right? And it's like his sort of, and it's tied to the ending, right? Of his revenges. She reads the book. She reads the book, and she's having all these, you know, kind of nightmares, and it's keeping her up, making her the nocturnal animal and all this such, because it's telling the perspective of how they broke up, because they got in love. She fell out of love with him because she kind of viewed him as weak and not compatible with one another. She started an affair with Armie Hammer. She aborted Jake Gyllenhaal's baby. So all this stuff, right? Big, big stuff. But the thing is, this stuff is, as I'm looking right now, I'm going to go watch it later. Nip Tuck. I didn't bring this for a visual age. I'm going to go watch it because I'm in a Nip Tuck mood. I'm watching like the 10 times. It's a great show. Lots of fun. All those things are yes in real life, and that's why I saw one comment like, "Oh, you." So somebody that kind of gave a negative review, like, "Oh, you probably haven't been in a big relationship." It's like, okay, I feel like 1, you don't know that about a reviewer, so why even throw that argument in? But 2, this movie does a good enough job of portraying why those things would hurt, and I think you have a general idea of, hey, even if you've never been in a relationship, you know, hey, if 2 people are married and one starts cheating, that's a pretty shitty thing. If 2 people are married and one has an abortion and doesn't tell the other, that's a pretty shitty thing. You know, these are not happy, good moments. Like, I think my sister, who is 15, would understand about a marriage breaking up. You know, she understands. Of course, she's not going to have the same level as someone that's actually married and gone through a divorce or not, but she understands. But that's the thing is, so with the trailers, and that's what I got into my disappointment, was the trailers, or just the first trailer, was this whole, the way it was spliced, and I didn't know it was about this writing of a book, was just about Gyllenhaal saying, you have to pay for what you've done, blah, 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 all of this, and I thought it was direct toward Amy Adams, and they keep hinting of stuff of like, oh, what I did to him was terrible, and blah, blah, blah. It is terrible, but the trailer for me set me up for something bigger. I thought it was much more, maybe she was a criminal or serial killer, and that's why I want to see it again, because now I know exactly what this movie is. I think it could go higher. But the trailers for me was like setting up this big, like, mysterious secret, like, oh, something big, and then it's like, oh, you cheated on your husband. Okay, I see that happen like every 10 episodes in Nip Tuck. Abortion, very serious subject. I'm not going to talk about how serious it is on this cast. That's a rant, rave, repeat episode. I understand how serious it is. Been covered many times, and it is. I wish I saw this movie blind, but like for me, it wasn't a big enough thing for it to match with the trailers the way it was. Not saying abortion isn't a big enough thing, but the trailers were just like this deep, dark secret, blah blah blah, and it got a really creepy murdery vibe. Where the movie is kind of creepy, but so all this happens, and then the thing is, I've talked to a few people already and seen some posts about like, oh, it's about, you know, his revenge on her, kind of seeing things from his perspective. I felt like in the flashback, she already felt really bad and understood that this was going to really hurt him. So I didn't feel like she needed a book to realize, oh, he was hurt by this? So that's 1. 2, okay, and this is the thing of like being ambiguous is things they say like, oh, he's never got remarried, blah, blah, blah. We don't know if he's written another book. So the way the movie kind of portrays it as like, he's just alone writing this book and sends it to her. And yeah, it is a sad thing, but it's this thing of like, okay, like, I guess it's just supposed to be sad, but this guy, it's been 20 years later and he's been able to move on. And his big ploy was, oh, I'm going to invite her to the restaurant to meet up with her and then not show up. And I get it, and the more I've thought about it, I do get it, and I like it because I was a little disappointed, and that's almost the way Amy Adams' character feels, right? Is she's disappointed with her life, she's gonna meet, what the fuck was his name? Edward, I'm pretty sure was his name. I know it's Tony in the book, but Edward, and it kind of seemed like, oh, she's very excited. She was very all dolled up and everything like that, and she took it all down, did her hair differently because she wanted to look very much like she was with him, very natural, not like hoity-toity American Psycho. And then he doesn't show up, and I get that. And that was actually good. And like I said, I think I could like that more on a second watch. But the first watch, I was kind of like, okay, because the whole film, and I get this is where someone will bring up the young generation argument, but the whole film for me was really, really good build-up with no payoff. It was great sex, and you didn't come. And that's how I felt about this movie, was I was waiting, I was close, and it didn't happen. Still good, but it didn't happen. And like, I get it, that scene... And I think lots of people enjoy that. The scene of him not showing up, I 100% get. I get what they are going for. I still would have liked a different route of them having a scene together, you know? Because the ending of the movie, it went to black. And it's a gut feeling. You're like, oh, that's the ending, isn't it? And then like the credits are like, yeah, that's the ending. And like I said, I like it more than I think about it, but I still am never going to say like, oh, I loved it. And that's what keeps it from being like a top 10 movie in 2016 for me, is the ending kind of left me with a sour taste, because... Then it's like, and that ambiguous stuff I like, of like, oh, did he maybe kill himself? You know, like, what was his entire motives? I still would like to see, I would have, I guess it's tough with the kill himself one, because like, then it would, like, because some people think he killed himself, and then if he went to dinner, obviously he didn't. So I kind of get what they're going there, but I still would have rather had a scene and talked about something, because it's just like, I want to know more about why did he write this book, and why did he write it the certain way. I know why he initially wrote it, but why did he have to go out of the way to send this copy? Because what if she didn't care? What if she legitimately read and she's like, oh yeah, I understand you're hurt, but whatever, my life's good, and I hope your life's gonna get good. I hope this is like a hit book for you. Like, what if she was like, what if her and Armie Hammer were completely happy? And I know the whole point was it just felt like, I don't know, maybe the person who wrote the book was like that. It just felt like a novel of like an ex-boyfriend kind of mad at somebody, because it's just kind of like this thing of like, I know she can't be happy without me, you know, like I said, her life was going to turn out miserable, and it's gonna, and you know what, people be like, you know, you haven't been in a relationship, the same thing, I think we've all been there, I've been there, where it's like, you break up with somebody, you're like, hey, we could have been happier together, we could have done this, blah, blah, and you bump into that person 5 later, and they're great. There was someone hotter than you, they got 10 kids, they fucking got this job, and they have like all this like money, and they're like, look, I got a water slide coming in my apartment. I'm like, wow, your life was better without me, you know? So it's like, that's the thing, like, we all think that. We all think like, oh, your life would be better with me. I know what's good for you. I know what's good for us. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I guess this was a case of where it doesn't, but I just, like I said, some stuff was a little cookie cutter. The book stuff meshed with it very well at times, where some of the stuff was kind of like a little like, didn't really match up. There's very few times where it didn't match up. I did think the book stuff did its job right. I understand what they were kind of doing with the criminals and whatnot. I would like the book maybe just as its own separate movie a lot. Not even saying like this can't be included, but that's where many times I felt like Amy Adams was just like, she was great in this movie, but there was sometimes where I just felt like she was just like a narrator in a way. And maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I haven't read the book, so I don't know if that's how it is, but I still really enjoyed it. Like I said, there was those problems. I'm trying to think of any more that I didn't mention spoilery, but no, like I thought the book did a good job. Like I said, only a few things. Ouch, hand. That's the second review in a row. Second review in a row where I've hit my hand on this fucking desk. But I think the book did a great job. I think it was just kind of that full-on execution didn't get there all the way. I thought it was very close, but just was missing something. And who knows? Might watch it again. I'm definitely watching this again. Great acting. Just the acting alone makes me want to watch this again. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you like my reviews, I'm going to be back sometime this week or next week, 2 times at least. I'm doing Hell or High Water. We got that. I want to see that. People have been talking a lot about that. Huge Ben Foster fan. I hear Chris Pine is great in it, so, and I've become more of a fan of him. And Jeff Bridges. Come on now. The dude. What else? And then Star Wars spoiler review Thursday. I'm not sure if we're live streaming or not. So either it's going to be up Thursday very late, so like I don't know, probably like a midnight 2ish. So if there's any nocturnal animals up there, we're gonna have a review right away up there at sometime at night, unless we've live streamed it. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. And then in the morning, it'll be there right away. You'll have your video version of our big, glorious, wickedly talented faces, or you'll have the audio version on your podcast subscription. So thank you very much for tuning into this. Let me know what you thought about the movie. If you think you feel the same way, let me know. If you think I'm completely wrong in some situation, let me know. Comment below. If you're just a person like, I love this movie, and because you don't like it, you're stupid, and you don't understand the art of film, don't message me. I don't care. Like, you can, I just won't respond. Just say, cool, have a great day. Doesn't matter. Like, that person is like, your opinion doesn't matter because you're wrong. It's like, cool. Why even waste the time? So, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed the movie. If you listen past the spoilers, haven't seen this movie, I'd recommend going and seeing this movie. It's a movie that, even though if I'm a little disappointed, I still really like. Probably my top 25. I recommend you go see it. You could walk out loving it. You could actually walk out hating it and being like, why did I see this movie? I could see it go both ways. Let me know. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I'm going to watch Nocturnal.